desk.
Thank you, Freak. And I actually love the fact that you guys are calling out that Unicorns of Love, they could totally get back into the series, because I want to talk about a few things that we gave them flack for after the first game that they definitely improved on. Level 1s, we'll start there. They had more of a game plan here. The problem this time around was execution, and that it didn't actually materialize into anything.
Yeah, they had the better level 1 that time. They realized, okay, they're going to keep trying to send Lucian, Nami top, because I think they really want to match the 2v2, so they're like sending their 2 top, or they kind of want the 2v1 for Mundo, and then allow Lucian to get the 1v1 on a Maokai so he can get really far ahead as kind of like a duelist. But after that, they didn't really capitalize on the dragon. You saw them try to go for that early dragon, but Millenium did a good job of realizing, hey, they're going to go for an early dragon, so let's just walk in. But Millenium had no vision, so if Unicorns of Love had just gotten vision, and then when they face checked in without like warding, they could have taken advantage of that instead of going straight for the dragon. Because when you have bottom side advantage of the map, it's really easy to gain control of the dragon side. You don't have to immediately rush the dragon, you have to kind of set up for it, and Unicorns of Love didn't really do that. And then when they went later on to put a lot of pressure top, like Elise was ganking top for Mundo, they didn't really capitalize and go for the dragons there.
Yeah, exactly. So they've fixed part 1. Now, hopefully they can fix part 2 before game 3, because then we might see them in that situation that Zyrene was talking about and we're talking about, where they have an early lead, they are able to close them out because they're still playing from behind. And then it's this issue of dragon dancing and indecisiveness. So I want to immediately jump into our first replay, which is 20 minutes into the game, where we do see a bit of a dragon dance that results in a fight. I'll let you walk us through this one.
Yeah, so the way Unicorns of Love have been playing these dragon fights is they just start it. They get the vision out, and then they don't try to go on them. They just kind of start it and wait for them to walk in. So then it turns into like these crazy dragon smite fights instead of getting the picks that they should be, and then it just turns into a bunch of chaos. Like Lee Sin just gets picked, they get the dragon, and then they just end up walking out. And you see this happening time and time again. Unicorns of Love just starting the dragon and not being properly set up for it and getting hugely punished for it.
Yeah, with a Maokai, a Thresh, and a Lee Sin on the team, even Orianna as well with that Shockwave, if they were able to look at the vision that they have, if you look at the minimap right now, the vision they have is really deep. When Millennium's coming in to contest these dragons, I agree 100% that they should be looking for picks rather than, no, we're going to start this dragon, get it down into smite range, and then half of us are going to engage and half of us are going to stay on the dragon. You know, they could absolutely have turned a lot of these early dragon fights if they were more decisive in their shot calling.
Yeah, the number one thing you want to do when you have all this vision around an objective is you know they're going to come for it. So then just set up for them and kill them. Right. They're going to walk right into you. And they have their vision is so good. They just need to take advantage of it. And we've yet to see that from them. And I'm really hoping they can turn it around.
We did see, though, maybe a moment of realization for them. About 7 minutes later in the game, we're just going to go right into our second replay because it illustrates it. Unicorns of Love, I think for the first time, realized, well, let's stop trying to contest these dragon fights that we're not necessarily going to win, and instead we'll opt in for that trade because we are going to scale well, and ultimately we can actually just roll this out because what you'll see is Millenium is moving towards the dragon at this point, and Unicorns of Love says, you know what, we're just going to go mid lane. It's the best idea for us to go mid lane. Millenium now is forced into a moment of indecision, and they feel like they need to contest their mid turrets. It's going to pull Millenium up. Unicorns of Love is going to pull off to the side, and they actually get a fantastic pick off on Kerp, who's trying to flank them. It's going to result in a kill over here. And then off the back of this, they're going to end up taking the turret and the dragon.
Yeah, they have such a good comp for dealing with Talon. Maokai can just position himself so he can easily zone Talon. Whenever Talon walks up, just root him for 2 seconds, and then you can easily just pick him off and kill him. They have a Thresh, they have a Maokai, they have a Lee Sin, and they're getting the wards out. They just need to take advantage of it.
Exactly, yeah. They have the Lee Sin to give vision on him, too. As if he lands the Q or the E, then Talon's not going to be able to stealth away, things like that. So, yeah, I mean, that was fantastic. They get 2 global objectives and a kill, got them right back into the game. There was just some more questionable decision-making that followed up, which Millenium did a fantastic job of capitalizing on. They had a great fight and chase bot lane, and then they had another fight up near Baron. They go 4-0, pick that Baron up, and at that point, again, with not the best siege comp in the world, they were able to take down, you know, those Nexus, those inhib turrets.
Yeah, time and time again, Millenium showing, hey, we're just gonna pick an assassin every game for mid. Our wave clear is gonna be that good. We're gonna look to put pressure mid to get Talon ahead. You always see the early games coming out from Elise, and then Unicorns of Love has the better draft again, and then they can just go for the siege because Talon wave clear isn't going to be enough to deal with an Ori sieging and a Tristana who has all that range when she levels up, and then a Maokai who can be the front line, and they're not really taking advantage of the fact that they have a better comp.
Yeah, now looking at the next game, I'm not sure you can do much about the fact that Millenium is going to play Assassins because there's simply too many Assassins to ban them all out and pick them away, right? And so I think what needs to be done perhaps is we got to look to the jungler, right? We've got to get the jungler in there, especially against a champion like Talon, to get and pressure that mid lane and keep him down because it's the snowballing of the mid lane for Millenium that's allowing them the ability to push down these turrets without a siege comp.
Yeah, exactly. Unicorns of Love need to realize that, hey, Curb, everything's going off the assassin mid. If he gets rolling, then they can get the pressure. They can push up. They can get the map control. So if Unicorns of Love gets all the vision mid, gets the pinks out, controls the early game from the assassin, doesn't allow him to get ahead, you have a ranged mid that you can just walk up with. You can literally Lee Sin Ori lane mid, force the other jungler to come mid because it's a Talon. He's not going to be able to defend the tower by himself.
All right. Well, we'll see if they make those changes because I really do feel that Unicorns of Love stands to win. As Freak said, they could entirely go 3-0 in the next 3 games and pull out the victory. We are going to jump over to Twitter real quick and check in with what you guys have been saying as we asked you, which teams do you think will qualify for the LCS today and why? And here's what you had to say. At Lol Yamazuya said, I believe that Unicorns of Love can beat Millenium because love conquers all.
Well, it hasn't really been conquering all yet, but I really think it still can, and I think they can still turn it around. We saw CLG do it, down 0-2. I think Unicorns of Love can do it as well.
The power, it all rests right here. Our next tweet comes from @SSuppress. As much as I love the name Unicorns of Love, this will be the year that no challenger team makes it. So they're not only saying in this series, but the next series as well.
I actually think Team A, out of all the challenger teams, has the best chance to make it. So I'm actually pretty surprised that they said this. And I still think Unicorns of Love can make it back.
Well, you're not alone because at Regilix, that's a tough one to say, Regilix, Team 8 will join the LCS because Cali Trolls will prove that top lane can carry an entire team.
I don't really think one person can carry an entire team, but I definitely think Cali Trolls is a pretty good player, and I heard he does a lot of shot calling for the team, and I think if they come to play as a team, they'll do great, and I think Cali Trolls can do great things for them, so we'll see what happens.
I don't know. I've seen you do a pretty damn good job of split pushing your way to victory in the top lane.
Yeah, but I don't think he plays Nasus.
That's true. He'd have to pull the Nasus out. Well, we always appreciate your tweets, and remember, you can stay in the discussion all day by tweeting at LOL Esports and using the hashtag LCS. Now, with Millenium up 2-0, can they knock out the Unicorns and in a clean sweep, or will the Challenger squad hold on? Find out after this short break.
Freak was like, what do you think about Janna? I was like, Blitzcrank is better than Janna. And he was like, for real, what do you think about Janna? I'm like, Blitzcrank is better than Janna.
Nice. So proud of himself.
Good play, 300 health. In goes Kirp, the jump back from Vardox, though Kevin nearly dead.
Oh!
Shockwave gets 2. In goes Chachi as well, slows down Creation. Good Shockwave, will not yet kill the Aiden carry. Oh, the sapling does though. Kevin knocked back, killed by Gilead. Looks like the answer is not quite yet, and he gets to safety. Shockwave gets 2 though. That's not good for the bot lane, but suddenly Power People dies. Creation's actually safe. Kirp goes in for massive damage. Lanterns there doesn't mean too much for him though. They did pull the Creation, it doesn't matter. Down goes Power People. Kirp in the back lines. Vardox trying to kite him back. They do get the kill, but it's already a 2-for-1 so far.